Okay, I see why you said to
Yeah,
watch the
you know the
1v1.
woman.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
See,
yeah.
it's all about setups. That's what we
Yeah,
do
yeah, yeah,
here
yeah.
in casting,
Yeah.
Travis.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And hey, look at the setup. We got the stage. It's time. Welcome back to the Path to LCS, where we are looking to get into the Proving Ground Circuit Qualifier. We're in the midst of a series. TBA leads by one game, but they can't be at ease after Tempest put up the show they did in game number one.
Not quite. Definitely some things to clean up, but ultimately things so far going like we expected for this matchup. But for Tempest, things are looking a little bleak now. It looked like they were starting to get control, but they managed to slip from their fingers yet again. And this is really brutal because again, PG lives on the line for this roster. Tempest, although this is their first qualifier, and they definitely weren't considered a team that was going to get this far, considering their seed and everything like that. They've done really well, and if they want to go that next step, they need to take us to that game 3 so they can potentially knock TBA out of this tournament and keep their PG hopes alive.
Yeah, they want to make sure that they are able to continue forward. They got hopes, they got aspirations. They want to make it further inside of Proving Grounds. They have their work cut out from now, though, because their backs are against the wall. And those waves, we were talking about them, they're crashing down, and they are having to fight against the current at this moment in time. As TBA is looking to see if they could sweep them away. This is a very scary scenario. I'm curious for you. What do you think that Tempest might need to change up going in this game? Is there something that they need to change up? Because it was a back and forth affair in the last 10 minutes of the game, it felt like.
I think the problem that they had is that they weren't very active in the early game. They didn't really do anything, and it took a while for those first kills to actually start to come through. So it wasn't even like kills before early dragons and things like that. It was just simply they weren't in a position to really contest everything. The Jin Zillion lane, really good for survival when you're trying to play into things like Callista and Renata Glass. But your problem is that it's hard for you to really get pushed unless you have your jungler come in at the right time, set up a kill right before Dragon. So I think the Wukong is fine. Honestly, the Jhin is okay too. You just need to be able to find some of these openings and take advantages of what you get. Because early on, we saw Chuki's, his flash was blown. But the pressure ended up staying in that bottom lane, and we saw no return from Frostforce in the coming minutes. And these are the things that you need to be punishing on the side of Tempest so that you can turn these small advantages into objectives and maybe to a win.
And you want to talk about people who had a killer instinct inside of game number one. We talked about Robbie Bob. We had our moment looking at that damage chart. Masu was playing really, really insanely well in that. Was one of the few AD carries that I've seen actually flank a Sylas and be like, yeah, I take this. I win these. There's no way for Sylas to be able to beat me in this situation. There is a lot of confidence on Masu inside of game number one. And if he's continuing to have that confidence, we saw him constantly attacking mobility every single time below left. So,
yeah.
Gotta keep our eyes peeled, but here we are, game number 2, TBA and Tempest Gaming. They flip sides, see if there be any changes.
So I have a feeling we'll see something like the Callista taken away there, or maybe a different bottom lane pairing for mobility and Bello, because again, talk about how those hard carry bot lanes are something they usually go for. Lucian Nami being something they played a lot of recently. I was surprised because it was up and available that it wasn't something they prioritized. And maybe this time around we could see that first pick Lucian come through or something along those lines. But for TBA, I can't imagine they need to really change things up. Continue banning away a lot of those enchanters from Pello, making sure that you're not going to be able to give mobility some insane hyper carry combination paired with something like a Lulu, like a Seraphine, whatever the case may be.
Whatever it may be, that is what the journey goes. Let's see exactly, as bans are looking exactly the same as we saw before. Do they take away the Callista first pick, or do they just pick something right off the get-go that looks a little bit better into it, though, is the question? Or do they pick someone that's a little bit better into Robbie? Because remember, they picked their solo lanes right off the get-go.
Yeah, that was surprising. Usually, you don't really see that often on the red side. It usually doesn't pan out for you. So the TPG have a lot of choices, a lot of options to go for here. And it's, as you said, Travesty, it's looking like they want the Callista. I mean, you can grab that one for yourself. But again, thing I don't like about, even if it's fine to pick Callista in some magical world, picking it first pick blue, you open up the opportunity for the Renata to be taken away. And yo, you ever played Renata? You see Draven? Did you see, this is what I'm talking about, Draven? If that's a Renata, dude, it's the bot lane's over. I don't want to hear it.
Oh man, that is a Draven. Oh
Draven.
Man, we have Masu on Draven duty, and I want to real quick reiterate: Masu was a kid that was picked up from solo queue, and
What?
look, if you climb in solo queue, you know what it means to take control of the lane. But we have another blind Silas. What is happening, B-Town?
What? I actually don't know. What changed? I don't
Nothing.
understand.
Same patch.
That's what I mean. We've been on the same patch the whole tournament, but there's some weird, like, there's something nobody's telling me, because we're, again, blinding Silas is
Is this like an agreement that the mid laners have? For
some handshake beforehand saying like R2 Silas, no balls, and then Robbie said bet.
So that they always know what the round 2 pick is going to be. You know what? If that's the gentleman's agreement, I'll take it. That's the best way I can put that play in there. Interesting enough, we do see the Gnar get picked up for Tempest Gaming. Don't tend to see Gnar get picked up when there's a Silas on board, but
I like it.
Want it.
I like it because I think Denethor honestly played pretty well last game. And overall, TPG, they like to team fight, like to set up for their carries to be able to do damage. I think it's great, and it's fine with how they've been playing so far and how things went in game 1. And you have that same top lane matchup going through here with the Sejuani, where Denethor realistically was getting the better of Topo, and I can't see that changing unless we see more jungle intervention. And of course, speaking of... No, I was kidding. We're seeing the rise. Oh yeah, it makes sense. You banned the rise. So I had this whole thought thing go through my head. He was, what are you gonna say?
I saw the train of thought. It was departing from station.
It's okay. We're gonna keep that one. We're gonna keep that one on the station a little longer.
Okay. Keep the brakes were a little bit rusty.
Exactly.
So you know what though? I am curious on what the pool is available, because I think when you see a Silas, there is one question that immediately gets thrown into you. It's a check that's made, and it's, what's your champion pool look like? Do you have a champion in your champion pool that can deal with a Silas, or do you only play like control mages that really have a good amount of different abilities that you can utilize as Silas? And
Travis,
curious.
Hear me out.
Yeah.
Akali. Akali Wukong.
Okay.
Yeah.
Akali Wukong. That's the slam.
That's the slam. That's the slam. Watch. Like it's.
No, that's silence for it.
Gragas is fine too, but okay. Well, if it's AP jungle, then I guess it's whatever. You know what? Lame. Heck, I guess it's fine. I actually kind of like the Gragas, especially if Frost Forces is going to be piloting that one, just because you can tell with TBA's comp, like they do want to group this time around. It's kind of similar where before, like they were playing for picks, but they can still team fight. And the nice thing about Gragas is that you can really split people up. You can, even though you can and maybe want to play front to back, Gragas kind of messes with all that, because all he has to do is get one good exploding cask off and manage to be able to split the fight apart. And when you pair it with something like the Yone, something I think is really, really strong right now too, your team fight goes kind of crazy.
Interesting. We are seeing right now TBA is playing the Mr. Steal Your Girl comp, where they've got
Mr. Steal
Diego,
Your Champ.
they got Silas, they've got Thresh, they got Draven, right? There's all the things, all the tools there, but I think this is very interesting. They're just stealing your champion, they're stealing your abilities, but I do have a concern. And this concern is called Draven. And how is Draven navigating these fights, bro? Like, what is he doing? Like, right? He's going to be spinning his axes and throwing them at his own team with the Renata. He's got a Gragas cast to have to dodge, and he doesn't like being displaced. He isn't about that life. You got Yone getting into your backline. What do you do to stop that? You have nothing to stop it.
I mean, to be fair, one, he's probably almost certainly... I mean, I guess cleanse doesn't do a whole lot for you this game besides handshake. Oh, but you can cleanse the Renata ulti. So I will say that. And also, that's why you see the Thresh. Because when the fight gets mixed up, when Masu might need to get out of dodge, you just throw him the lantern and say, come here, buddy. I got you. Don't worry. You're safe now. and now continue throwing stuff at them.
I feel like you're way too calm as a Thresh. It's usually screaming like, please click the lantern!
Nah, when you've played Thresh long enough, this is your face in like, you're in the most hectic team fight of your entire life, and your face is literally just like,
namaste.
it's like literally throw the, not even that, you're just like, you're just so jaded. You just throw the lantern, they don't take it, face doesn't twitch, because this is the solo queue experience. Like, oh yeah, of course. Like, it's not like this has happened like a gajillion, fulfillion times.
Sometimes you go and click your own lantern just to say somebody clicked it. But
I see you also play Thresh. You understand. Because you need to feel something sometimes.
Sometimes. I do want to throw back to, this is when we were talking about the matchup, one of the things that stood out to me is we talked a lot about Tempest Gaming and the fact that they do play a lot of their resources towards bot side. We did see them start to do that with one early gank from Frost Force, right? And then he, like you talked about earlier, didn't revisit that point. This time around, you have a Callista Renata, your Gragas, you have some really great early ganks. I think they might want to try and put Draven in the dirt, right? What do you think?
No, I think you're right, because Draven, I mean, if we talk about the matchup in isolation, like, Draven's the big answer to Callista right now. You don't often see the Thresh pairing, so in terms of like early prio, you might see things get a little mixy. You're probably going to get early push as mobility and bellow, but the thing with Thresh, or the thing with enchanters, most enchanters and hook champs, it only takes one. You get one death sentence. It's over. Lane's done. You're dusted. And especially with jungle intervention too, like Kitso, we know it's been so far playing really hard for bottom this series, and we're probably going to see the same thing come through in this one as well. And I think the most important thing is how, for TBA, is how you team fight later on, because Frost Force can mess with a lot of that. So it's about saving the lantern for Chookies, for Masu, because we're looking at Masu this game, let's be real.
Yeah. Masu, after the last game, he gained a lot of adoration, but he's starting off with 0 this game. He's going to have to stack it up and see what he can do. We got double combat sums actually in this bot lane, by the way. Exhaust and at night. They're looking to bring the heat.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Yeah, I mean, this is what you want. This is the kill lane. You want to win. You want to win the 2v2, and that's what you're looking for, especially when you're playing as the Draven here. The most interesting thing is mid is melee into melee. You don't see a whole lot of that these days with how many mages have been banned, and with Robbie blinding the Sylas. This is what we have gotten ourselves into. And both junglers, of course, likely going to be pathing towards bottom side. This is what we've been seeing all series long. Sejuani Nar, it's the handshake. It's like, hey man, how you doing? It's literally the coyote and the sheepdog if you've watched Looney Tunes.
Yes.
I just admit I was old.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm here with you. I'll join you in the retirement home.
You literally, like, you know, they're just clocking in. They're doing what they got to do, and they're chill when the game's over.
Yep, that's exactly what it is. Frost Force, though, is looking not to chill, by the way. He's got Dark Harvest. He's looking to harvest some fools. So keep our eye peeled on Frost Force.
I mean,
Yeah?
see if he's going things like the Night Harvester, you want a lot of burst damage. So if you get someone low enough, the Dark Harvest proc, the burst damage you get from Night Harvester proc, I mean, that's something to be really excited about here. And speaking of excited, Masu, spinning axes are already coming. Oh, Chookies, he's already looking level 1.
I like how you took that the direction of like, oh, he's already looking level 1, and I'm just like, ooh, he missed that.
I wasn't expecting it, you know?
But yeah, Masu got both axes spinning. See how he performs in this. Keeping a lot of eyes on this because Masu was very aggressive in the last game on Callista. This time playing the Draven around like you were talking about. Definitely keep our eyes peeled. I'm also looking at this mid lane because Robbie Bob looking to get aggressive already with this Yone, trying to tip the odds, trying to keep things in an even state for themselves.
Oh, and I like this move from Kitso. All right, as soon as he hits level 3, full clears top side. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is easy gank. Get up in his face. The chain can't miss. He will be able to blow the flash. Oh, but here we go. It's also getting used onto Masu. Thresh isn't here. This is a 1v2.
Wait, he
but
kills,
Masu,
no? He
he's looking
kills.
to just outplay this. This is a 1v2, and he's looking to claim it, but he will not. Renata makes sure she fights for her life, and Mobility gets out alive with a kill.
And to be fair, that's why you see that combination come through. To be able to use that bailout, to be able to extend these fights that much further, plays so well for champs like Kalista. And that's Masu overstepping a little bit because Chuki showed in the mid lane, going for that level 2 roam. And even though Masu will be able to come back, pick up a lot of this wave, that's an early lead for Mobility. Oh my god, he lost so much.
Actually baiting them. Ghetto is over here looking to see if he'll be able to tag with the stun. Doesn't find it, and that will be the escape. Bello has blood on the mind.
He does. So it's all, but the thing is now, no summoners available for either bot laner except for Chuki's and his Ignite. And now you have that opening for Frost Forest. Most of his camps are done. He can take Scuttle. He could look to invade if he really wanted to here, but his bot is looking to recall, so things are chill. And this is the early lead Tempest were looking for here. We talk about how pending don't always do well from behind. Well, this is the start of putting them in that kind of position.
Well, with these champions too, right? Like this is you used the set line death sentence earlier. This is a death sentence for them if they start getting below, if they're not able to get themselves a lead, right? This is a composition they want to snowball with. They want the Viego to pop off and be that champion that makes everybody question game development. They want those different scenarios to pop up. They want Robbie Bob stealing everybody's ults and being like, whoa, this champion's too crazy. They want the Draven to make everybody go, it's just the League of Draven. They want that, but that can't happen without first a lead that they can snowball with.
Yeah, and of course, the constant skirmishing going through in the mid lane. Robbie really not afraid to go for these 1v1s. And the idea here is that you want to win these health trades, set up the potential gank for Kitsuo. And I mean, with the timing of that gank, Fuki's like, okay, I'm going to drop this ward. Because it's been 2 minutes and something tells me I've seen this movie before. And then you can see with him paying his respect, it's that exact thing. Chuki's is also in the area once again.
Chuki's always making sure that presence is known, ready to assist Robbie Bob at a moment's notice. Some great gank assist there. You see, Bello is still over here looking to be that assistant, trying to get that bell out if a situation calls for it. Lots of damage onto Robbie Bob. He is surviving the gank though.
Well, he's in a dangerous position, even with that Kingslayer. Surely off cooldown now. If he's not careful, he's going to get taken down before he can use it. Nothing. Well, thankfully, that isn't going to happen for him. But all this pressure, the fact that Robbie Bob is forced to back, it's kind of reminiscent of what happened last game when the roles were reversed and Vuke was playing the Sylas. He's forced out of lane, and that gives the opportunity now for Frost Forest to be able to make a move for that dragon.
It's going to be interestingly enough, neither one of these teams have a lot of vision around it though, right? Like you do see Masu and Chuki's of course have a huge advantage in the spot side just by the duo that they have. But you can see there's a big difference in the vision that is around this dragon this time around. We saw both teams really heavily vying for it last time around, but this time it is just them having the Tempest Gaming focusing so hard on that defensive vision.
Yeah, the Sentinel actually is kind of a big deal here because now you have that inkling or the idea that the dragon's being started. Problem is, can't do anything about it. No level 6, no exploding cast. Means Team Pending get to walk away with that first dragon secured, and means they can set their sights on that Rift Herald like they did in the last game. So far, the early game in this series, they've gotten most of the early major objectives, and they want to look to keep that streak coming through. And if this is going to be anything like last game, we'll see Kitsuo go top, help get that kill on to Denethor, and hope that you can chunk him out in preparation for starting Herald.
That could be a great plan. Red buff is up, so you gotta think that's part of the pathing plan. As you're seeing a bit more aggression. Look at the damage onto Robbie Bob. Yone just jumps in, and there's no way for him to be able to trade back.
No, not particularly. With level 6 coming through, ultimates are up and available. You can see a Topo. He's trying to trade hell. He's trying to help set up for Herald, forcing Denethor to recall if he can. It isn't going as well as it did last time. And that's why I was talking about Kitsuo showing up top. He has that Heartbreaker ready to go. He wants to kill.
Looking for for the play. One more auto would have slayed Robbie Bob, but Robbie Bob gets out just fine. But now history repeats itself. Denethor getting ganked yet again in the top side. It's a stun, it's locked down, and that is a kill.
Frost Force 6.
Explosive cast. Harvesting Topo. Pleasure doing business with you.
Nice and easy. So it's going to be Kitsuo. He'll have an easy time finishing this wave. The problem is he in trouble? He still has his Heartbreaker.
He's looking to see what he can do, but he's got Bello here to try and secure it. And those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it. Frost Force has learned a lesson, it seems. He wants to kill.
He got the kill.
No, Kitsuo is able to get it. He takes over the body. He's the big man now.
Another
and
Heartbreaker.
Bello is gone. Double kill to Kitsuo.
And that is so crucial. Tempest almost turned around the play that secured them the first Herald in game 1. But of course, Kitsuo on the Viego, he wins the 1v2. And now they have all the pressure they need to go for this neutral objective here. You can see it. Topo is back in the top side of the map. No, surely not another kill.
He just came back. And it's already, Chucky's being aggressive now. Said, I rotate too.
And it's huge. I mean, because the Kitsuo loses a lot of health, doesn't mean he's going to recall. Spend that gold he's earned, not quite go for the Herald. But this is still a big deal. The problem now is, Masu, are you going to respect the fact that your support is not anywhere near you? The answer is no.
The answer is no. It's another 1v2 angle for him, but unfortunately the Bash body slam is too much for him. There'll be more spears lodged into him. He's trying to put an axe in the head of mobility, but he will be able to fight through the exhaust and get the kill.
Yeah, and that's honestly really nice play from Tempest Gaming, seeing, hey, Masu looks very pushed up. I don't like that. They took that personally, Travesty, and that's just more kills they're able to get onto this Callista. And even though the CS wasn't looking so good for mobility early on, he's caught up, and now he's 2-0. So clearly ahead of the curve here against Masu. And okay, Robbie.
Getting aggressive, trying to lay out the work. Does do a little bit to scare him off, but doesn't get anything out of it. And it's the HP advantage that I've been watching constantly. Every time we see a trade between these two in the mid lane, Tempest Gaming feel like they always come out on top. You need to be careful though. There's a Viego looking to tag somebody. Chookies is here as well. A nice flay, but make them go berserk. Make them fight each other, but that is a kill. And it is trying to fight for your life, but it's just not enough. The Glacial Prison catches mobility, and he is going to be gone. Robbie Bob is barely alive. Bello trying to see if he can finish him off, but he is just going to find himself dropping a death sentence with an exclamation mark.
Oh, he
Team
leveled.
Pending is popping off. Robbie Bob is going to survive. The Kingslayer is there. They're still laying out the damage necessary.
Oh, wait, what are we
wait
doing?
a second. He's in too deep, and he can't keep his head above the water. Kitsuo falls down and gives the shutdown to Nard.
Okay, that was almost fantastic for TBA. And now I'm going to downgrade it to about a good. Not only because you still got more kills, but also because Masu has been very quietly farming on the bottom side of the map. He's gotten a lot of turret plates under his belt. He's gotten the CS lead once again. We're going to see it in the replay. It looks so good so far because Chukis is already here. Gets the CC so that Vuke can't make use of the ultimate there, that hostile takeover. And because of the teamwork, Robbie Bob shows up. It's nice and easy. And because Viego's resetting, he's happy to keep on fighting. The only time this play really goes bad is when you're not really paying attention to the fact that, hey, you know what, we haven't seen Gragas in a little while. I wonder where he is.
Yeah.
And in about like 10, 20 seconds time, you're going to see that one come through.
Yeah, you can already see Robbie Bob get chased around the jungle as well. It looked great for him. And you can see exactly where things went south. But over into the top side, it's Topo getting topped upon. It is Frost Force securing kill up in the top side of the map. But while this is all happening, Dragon secured by Team Pending.
I mean, again, Team Pending securing dragons as they've been doing so far in both games. So the big deal here, though, is that Tempest, they're going to make a lot of use of this first Herald. You dive Topo successfully, and you're going to be able to get that first brick coming through. That is a lot of bonus gold here for both the top and jungle of Tempest, and you open up the map for Denethor here. You give him that opportunity to push the wave nice and deep and give him these longer timers for the moment to be able to move across the map and make plays.
is a very, very good game between these two right now, right? And this is for the first time inside the series. Tempest Gaming does have a gold lead. That is something that has to be acknowledged here because last time they had that, but that question makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
I can see that one, 100%.
What would you be, Travesty? Would you also be a cat?
No, I'd be a fox.
Ooh, interesting.
So everybody could ask me what I say.
Anyways, good luck casting the series by yourself.
You know what? It was a pleasure doing business with you. It's also a pleasure for them to do business with Robbie Bob. Ignores out. What a huge ult. Chucky's trying to save his day, but Denethor says, I'll match you one better. Trying to go for more plays, a double kill for the
goodbye.
Let them make it a trip. Cross Forest will secure the kill. And that is 3 kills in quick succession to Tempest Gaming in the mid lane.
And this is what I was talking about. Denethor getting out of lane now because of that early turret going down means that he's able to move, help make these plays, and now, sure, he's losing some farm topside. Sure, Topo and Sejuani is getting plate gold, but who cares? Big play for Tempest Gaming, and you can already see that Gnar Boomerang come through here, and the exploding cast. Despite it looking almost like a great escape, the timing just wasn't good, and Kitsuo came too late.
Started off with 1 kill. How did it end up like this? That's the question that TBA is wondering right now, as they are in a position where Tempest Gaming, they're winning these team fights. They're getting themselves some nice stuff going for themselves, and it is a scary thing now because we're getting into a point where Team Pending, they've only secured 2 dragons, right? We're not at a point where 3 dragons have been up or anything like that. They don't have the dragon win condition as they did in the case of like they could handily secure some fights. Team Tempest Gaming is showing up in these fights, and it's Denethor who has a lot of this money. Frost Force has that Night Harvester. He's doing a huge burst of damage, and mobility is ahead of Masu. Even if it's just by a little bit, or even if they're tied, that's not where you want to be as a Draven.
No, and the thing is too, Masu has a lot of adoration that he's yet to cash in on. So it does mean that Whirling Death will do bonus damage. It also means he's quite behind in gold, and oh, he might be further.
Yeah, Denethor has his Mega Gnar halfway charged. He's looking to see if he can build it up. He's going to be able to have it at the end of this fight. He's going in, gets onto Masu. Exhaust, they're trading between the marksman and the bot lane. Velo has to fight for their life. The Topo is going to find himself getting executed. He gets rend asunder. A triple kill to mobility. They're looking to continue going forward. Kitsuo is in a world for pain. He might be unstoppable, but you're unkillable. A quadra kill for mobility. He's looking for a possible penta. They're not going to look through that. Can he secure it? Denethor! He steals the penta, but it is an ace for Tempest Gaming.
That's still a 5-for-1 in favor of Tempest. This gold lead is now shot up to 6,000, and with a minute 30 to Dragon, Team Pending might not even be able to play for the soul that they were looking for here, Travesty. This has been just a disaster for Team Pending fans, and it's just been wonderful for Tempest Gaming and how they have taken control of this game. They're the ones being more active in the early game like we wanted to see from them.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is where everything turned on its head. What a great call coming from Tempest Gaming.
And the big thing, too, is that look at mobility this entire time. Health, still full, still chilling. No one's doing anything to him. No one's even autoing him. Yeah, sure, he gets exhausted, but still full HP. Still full HP, basically. He's just fist chilling the whole time, Travis. He almost gets a pentakill because he's the big source of DPS here. Nobody dealing with him's a problem.
Yeah, and look, they're trying to see if they can figure out a way to do him. Huge ult from Robbie Bob, but he can't secure a kill off of it. Whirling Death comes in, lays in a good amount of damage, but 4 members of Tempest Gaming are still strong.
Oh,
what a body slam coming in. Robbie Bob retreating, but the spears get rended out of his body. He will lay cold on the ground, and now it's just Masu looking to defend. It is a dangerous predicament for Team Pending.
And it's only getting more dangerous by the minute here. You get a turret in exchange, but realistically, you lose so much across the map. This gold lead continues to grow as turrets are being taken, jungle camps are being stolen, and the first dragon for Tempest is about to be claimed. So Team Pending, everything they worked for in this game has been halted in its tracks. Tempest, whose PG hopes are on the line, are starting to show us something here in Game 2.
They are looking great at this current moment in time. Every single one of these players showing up, and you can see from the gold graph. Look at how things have escalated here, Beatdown. 8K over the last the course of like 2 minutes, right? They have just climbed this lead immaculately. Denethor is a threat that can't be dealt with. He'll show you how to do that better, Robbie Bob. Hold up. He's going to be able to smack him around. He's unstoppable.
My God, and he's level 13. 2 levels ahead of even Topo, who has the most XP tied with Masu on Team Pending. Everything is going for Team Tempest Gaming here. Team Pending will get that second Rift Herald, and they hope they can use that to be able to break open the mid-tier 1 turret, as it's the only one left on blue side. And you hope to be able to open up the map a little more. It'll make it easier for you to set up vision and pray that you can get some semblance of river control so that you can try and contest this third dragon. Problem is, you probably got to let this dragon go too. You're not in a position to be fighting anybody.
It's hard, right? Like,
hard is a word for it.
How hard is the word I'm going to use? Because Robbie Bob is in a situation where he's got some good ults to grab, right? But he's behind, so he can't really do anything besides die once he goes in there and uses them. They could use Sejuani, but Sejuani is getting collapsed onto right now. There's 3 members up here. Where are you going, Topo? Nowhere. That's the answer to that.
To the gray screen.
To the gray screen. Back to the fountain with you, as he is going to go down. Can't even click the lantern. The thought counts.
Pretty close.
Pretty close, but
Can you imagine?
Not close enough for the board to be able to reach out and grab it.
No, unfortunately not. This is brutal. Yet another pick. This gold lead, we're looking at 9,000 now in favor of Tempest Gaming. You're seeing item spikes up the wazoo, especially Denethor, who's 6, 1, and 7 right now. One of the freshest players. We have an amateur at the moment. He's in such a good position here in Game 2.
Oh, looking for the play, trying to see what he can do, trying to find the 1v2, Robbie Bob! No, he barely survives with the help of his jungle duo, but now it is the play from Tempest Gaming in mid lane. Denethor is almost mega gnar. You do not want any of this heat that Tempest Gaming is ready to bring. This Team Pending does have to give up that mid inner tower.
Right, and that's the exchange. You get a bit of gold off of Tempest Gaming's mid laner, and you get some gold onto Kitsuo, who's honestly doing pretty well at 6-3 individually. The problem you're just running into is, again, the team gold diff is huge. You still don't have quite the best position to be able to drop that Herald. Again, mid lane is what you want, but with Tempest pushing that mid lane so deep, you don't have the option just yet here. And because Uke is already on the map again, I have a feeling we're going to see another Herald expire or be dropped at an inopportune moment here for Team Pending.
I can't help but agree with you in this. Like it's one of those things right now where Team Pending does not have a composition that plays gracefully from behind. And one of our criticisms about Team Pending in the tournament has been when they play behind, they struggle, right? They're a team that likes to be very aggressive, and it's hard to do that when you do not have the goal lead in your favor. And Tempest Gaming, they realized that in game number 2 here, they have given themselves quite a fantastic early lead, and nobody's in position to even stop this Baron. It's beautiful.
Yeah, that's right, and you get to see, they couldn't bring them in time. At this point, there's really nothing you can do. You just walk away with this Team Pending, tail between your legs as Tempest Gaming continue to secure themselves that gold lead. Kitsuo, Herald about to expire. Realistically, it doesn't look like there's anything you're really going to be able to do with it. So maybe you can drop it mid, and it'll allow you to help set up a little better for this dragon. But again, in a spot where, like I said a minute ago, you can't fight this dragon. It's not in the cards.
Looking for Denethor. They got 3 members here. He's about to go mega, though. I don't think you actually want to fight him right now. I get that you got Kitsuo there, and he's really strong, but that's dangerous.
This is a 3-item Gnar. 3.5, I should say, with that Warden's Mail coming through. Nah, you're not killing him. Especially when he's going mega. So it's wise that they back off. The problem they're facing is still the same, though. Well, there you have it, everyone. Herald, bot lane. All it's really going to do is just give away XP.
Yes. Yeah, that's unfortunately what happens when you are behind in this situation, though, right? Where do you put it at, right? Robbie Bob can't push up this wave. There's a Baron empowered minion wave the rest of the team from Tempest Gaming is looking to cause a storm in the bot side of the map. And look at this, Team Pending, they're spending so much to get onto Denethor, but they're not able to find him. Boomerang toss, they get the stun, they have to flash for it. Will it be enough to lock him away? He is stuck in Mininar, but the Sterix gauge gives him a nice, beautiful shield. He is kiting this out so beautifully. He gets the trade, a godlike performance from Denethor. And this buys Tempest Gaming so much time. He gets rid of the big player for Team Pending, and now it's just the base getting torn asunder.
And this is the problem. You commit so many people to the top side, especially someone as fed as Denethor. You give so much time for both your inhibitor turrets and mid and bot to go down, and you even lose mid inhib in the process. It just means that, I mean, it just further solidifies you're not fighting this dragon, further solidifies the fact that Team Pending have no control over what's going on in this game here. Tempest have the opportunity to close things out very, very soon. With that mid inhib down, all it's going to take is one more fight here, Travesty, and that's what they're hoping for.
Absolutely. Baron is going to inspire here soon, so they won't have the pushing power of Baron, but like you said, they got that mid inhibitor. They've got that to be able to just naturally push on its own. They got a bare naked inhibitor down there in the bot side as well. That thing is completely just in a terrible situation if they decide they want to put that Yone down there. If they want to put Gnar down there, who answers Gnar? We've already seen what happens when you send 3 members and your strongest member was included in that. He was mini. He was mini.
That's right.
Bite-sized.
He was exhausted. No rage bar to be seen, and they weren't able to do anything about it here. You can see a Team Pending. They have to group. They have to be so careful when placing vision even just outside of their base. And Tempest Gaming, because that top inhib turret's the only turret left, besides the Nexus turrets, they're focusing their vision on this top side of the map. Oh my god.
That was a very aggressive move. That's followed up by more aggression here. Lots of ults whiff here. Robbie Bob does have the Gnar ult. He gets a huge ultimate onto the team. Is it enough? Masu is completely getting destroyed by the Yone as he just does so much damage. Mobility, making good on the name. This is exactly how he got it. He dances around the team fight and finds the triple kill. They get the ace. Tempest Gaming get game number 2.
And Tempest Gaming not going quietly here, Travesty. They are taking us to the game 3. They're taking it to Team Pending because these rookies, with the exception of Frost Forest and Mellow, of course, are looking to punch their ticket to Proving Ground.
What a show from these players here. They are... We talked about it at the very beginning, right before we got into game number 2. You couldn't go into game number 2 knowing what was going to happen. And Tempest Gaming, they're here to leave everybody breathless at this moment in time. There's some absolutely fantastic performances.
They've succeeded. They're taking us to that game 3. I mean, again, a team we didn't expect to make it as far as they have with the amount of rookies, inexperienced players on the roster. And I mean, one of the most inexperienced ones, Denethor, had a fantastic game on the Gnar. I'm sure the stats are unreal here, as there it is. That's what I'm talking about. Most damage in the game. We already saw he had the most gold and was such a big player in these team fights, setting them up, dishing out damage, drawing pressure. Everything about his performance in this second game was ridiculous.
If you want to learn how to play Gnar effectively, take notes. Denethor is the guy to watch, apparently. I have to add, this is a fantastic performance. We got a game number 3 here, beatdown.
We do.
There's so much on the line.
There is. And I mean, for Team Pending, truthfully, they've already locked in top 10, but winning here allows them to get closer and closer to securing top 6, because even though top 10 amateur go to Proving Grounds, the bottom 4 have to play in play-ins against the bottom 4 academy teams. So you want to avoid that so you can get the best placing you can at Proving Grounds. So Team Pending definitely have a lot of skin in this game, but you can see it. It's Tempest Gaming who are fighting tooth and nail in this series, Travesty.
Yeah, they didn't make it into group stage last time around. This time they're looking to get out of group stage and get right into that tournament bracket. But we're going to take ourselves a short break. We got to get our breath back. We got to get ourselves ready because game number 3 is going to be here before you know it. So make sure you do not touch that browser.